Okay, sorry. I was listening to a little clip I saw on Twitter while I was waiting for this to go live. For the connection to connect and like, is it live or not? Hello everybody, is I RavenWood, and welcome back to the Random Phantom, and welcome back to RavenWood. I read. I can't even speak. I can't even say I can't even speak to say I can't even speak to save my life. Okay, let's see. Dashboard, Google. It says excellent. I think I'm excellent as well. Let's just leave it there. This is a nice little hot rod figure I got. I have. I already did the video for him, but I have not published it yet. But what I'm going to do is just just make him smaller, just slightly. This just looks odd. Doesn't have the extra thing. So I was going to reverse transform it, but this is peak transformation right here. It just looks. You probably don't know, but the yellow part that's on the side right here is not supposed to be showing. Anyways, all I did was move two pieces aside, and then voila! Haha! I'm such a genius. Somebody stop me. Try and remember how I. Oh, do I need to? Yeah, I need. Well, let me wiggle it for yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. This is just going to be for the first. How much time has been lost? This is just going to be for the first 5 minutes of the little stream. Me de-transforming him. But yeah, tomorrow is Halloween evening. Halloween's evening, y'all. The evening of Hallow's Day. Okay, come on, yeah. Unpeg. Remove thyself. Can't. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. I know, the first 5 minutes is just going to be me reverse transforming this character, this hot rod character. Oh yeah, we're going to finish the exchange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Don't worry. I'm just messing with this figure so I can pose him and whatnot for my thumbnail for the video that I'm about to publish for him. Yay. Oh. Come on. I don't know what caused me to start the whole on the shelf thing in the first place. But, it's something I like doing. And it's not going to be just Transformers, amongst other things, but... Okay. Do I have to... I forgot how to reverse transform him because I don't transform him a lot. We need a new figure already. Frame 1. Oh. Huh? Oh. Oh. I had just got him out of place. Let me just pop this already. Keep forgetting that there's something you could do. It's just... Okay. I just want to go fairy. Do I roll it? Oh, what do? I forgot. Oh, it's connected. I know how to transform these characters, guys. Trust me. This is awkward. It's not wanting to budge. It's not wanting to move. I forgot the trick to doing it. Once you pop it into place, and then everything's like, okay, yeah, you did it. You got it. You transformed. You can't untransform it now. Okay, there we go. Oh, sometimes they're just stubborn to just move. Pop. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. It's a bit loud and unnerving. Pop this back into place. Yeah, here we go. Forgot to show concept I like to do, but I'm gonna wait till later. Okay, give me a second. Almost got him. Okay. It's odd that everything wants to fight. Even after, sometimes it likes to fight me before the video, sometimes it likes to fight me after the video. Sometimes it forces me to do some reshooting altogether, and that's difficult to do with some of these figures, especially when I have to repose them again. Maybe even put them in a new cool pose or something. Hold on, I forgot. Up the head, up, turn this head around, then put this down. Then, this is weird. This is the weird part. Huh. Did I forget to do something? I forgot to do something. Oh well. Yeah, I forgot to do something. Oh. Now this piece is in the way, but I don't know how to make that out of the way. Was I supposed to do something else first? No. This is odd. What's the purpose of this? I'll have to look up an instruction. There's something here that's not doing what it's supposed to do. This is embarrassing. It's supposed to spin. Hold on. It's I forgot about. Okay. We got this, people. We got this. I know. 10 minutes in. This is embarrassing. But we got it. Got it. Okay. Come on. Rotate in. Now this next part that's also a bit confusing. Okay. Oh, okay. It just didn't. That part didn't want to snap in. But this part did. There we go. Okay. There we go. We fully transformed. There we go. We did it. There we go. Okay. Okay, got him transformed. Took me 10 minutes, but, you know, that's something. Okay, I'm going to check something real quick. All right, okay, so there we go. Now, let's see. To the story. Okay, so what has happened here so far? Previously, once upon a time, oh boy, I'm not usually this yawny. Let me put the mouse up here. This looks weird. There. Okay. So previously, people, the lawyer met Mr. Hyde. He ran into him. Then he went to speak to He decided to go into Dr. Jekyll's home, his actual home. No. He decided to go to Dr. Jekyll's home. Right. Met with Pool. Yes. Couldn't speak with Dr. Jekyll at the moment. And then, so he goes back home, and then he has a dream that he must find he must know more about Mr. Hyde. And he also, not only that, the dream happened before he decided to go find Mr. Hyde, but like afterwards, sorry, excuse me. Sorry, folks. But afterwards, he's like, well, I need to study him more. I need to, and also, like, he also has, like, memories of, like, Dr. Jekyll when they were, like, younger. All the other jazz. And then we finished the chapter. So it was sort of an eventful chapter, and not too eventful. So now here's the next chapter. Dr. Jekyll was quite at ease. A fortnight later. Fortnight? Where are we dropping? Tilted Towers? Or Eclipse Estate? Are we dropping Rumble Ruins? No? Oh well. A fortnight late. Okay. Oh yeah, I almost forgot my voice. My reading voice. A fortnight later, by excellent good fortune, the doctor gave one of his pleasant dinners to some 5 or 6 odd cronies, all intelligent, reputable men, and all judges of good wine. Jolly good wine, sir, jolly good wine. Sorry, good wine. And Mr. Utterson so contrived that he remained behind after the others had departed. This was no new arrangement, there was no new arrangement, but a thing that had befallen many scores of times. When Mr. Utterson was liked, he was liked well. Host loved to detain the dry lawyer, when the light-hearted and loose-tongued had already their foot on the threshold. They liked to sit a while in his unobtrusive, unobtrusive company, practicing for solitude, sobering their minds in the man's rich sights at their expense of strain of gaiety. Gaiety? Let me look that up. I think I know what it means, but I want to double check. Gaiety. Is that pronounced gaiety? Let's find out. Gaiety. And there's also a theater called the Gaiety Theater. Gaiety. Definition. The state or quality of being light-hearted or cheerful. Gaiety. Gaiety. Oh, gaiety. 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 The sudden gaiety of children's laughter. Oh, there was a lot of gaiety. Vibes. Gaiety vibes from the FNAF movie. You should go watch. You must. No, let me sell it. Okay, you should definitely must go watch. It's corny, it's cheesy, it's campy, it's gaiety. Gaiety? Gaiety. But it's also spooky and can be dark. So I'd be careful. But the gaieties? The gaieties? I'll be careful about watching if you're not into spooky stuff. Or very faint of heart. It's not too scary or spooky or anything of that sort of imagination. It's like green pepper of spicy foods, like pizza, green pepper. So it's like it's not it's like it's sort of like warm. It's kind of like hot, kind of, but it's not like, oh, this is so spicy, I cannot handle it, right? Okay, sorry, but it's definitely got that gaiety vibe to it. A little gaiety, but not too much gaiety. Yeah, just hey. Hey. Sorry about the audience, if there's any audience here, or not here live. It's dead. No, it's live, but it's not. When this stream is no longer live and dead, I'll probably eventually have an audience of some sort. So yeah, whatever. Whoever's watching this, whether it be now or future tense. Anyways, to the gaiety. Okay. Sobering the minds with the man's rich silence at the expense and strain of gaiety. To this rule, Dr. Jekyll was no exception. And as he now sat at the opposite side of the fire, a large, well-made, smooth-faced man of 50. Okay, 50. Man of 50. Was something of a stylish cast, perhaps, but every mark of capacity and kindness you could see by his looks that he cherished for Mr. Utterson a sincere and warm affection. Okay, this is Mr. Addison. I have been wanting to speak to you, Jekyll, began the lad. You know that will of yours. A close observer might have gathered that the topic was distasteful. But but the doctor carried it off gaily. Gaily. I think it's gaily. Let's Google gaily or gaily. How to pronounce it? I think I'm pronouncing it correctly both ways. I don't know. Across the street. Gaily. Gaily. I was right, gaily. Very gaily today. In a cheerful, lighthearted way. Okay, so gaily, Guidey and gaily. Two different words. It's just one certain scene of the FNAF movie. No, not that. The diner guy. The diner guy in the restaurant, not the Freddy's restaurant, but a different restaurant, was very gaily with his attitude and personality. Very gaily. of the character known as Ness from the FNAF movie. Very gaily. Or he had a rather gaily personality to him, kind of rather cheerful, almost gaily, but not quite. Or is it? But carried it off gaily. Gaily. Okay, I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm just checking. My poor Utterson, he said, you are unfortunate in such a client. I never saw a man so distressed as you were by my will, unless it were that Hyde about pedant. Pedant or pedant? Well, let's find out. Where is it? Where is it? Pedant or pedant? Oh, ped. Pedant. Pedant. Hide-bound pedant for all that. An ignorant but blatant pedant. I was never more disappointed in any man than Leon. Leon. You know I never approved of it, pursued Utterson, ruthlessly disregarding the fresh topic. Sorry. My will? Yes, certainly, I know that, said the doctor. A trifle sharply. A trifle? Is it a trifle? A trifle? We're trying all the different. We're trying all the pronounceable. We're trying all the words that need to be pronounced. Trifle? I don't know why I'm not pronouncing the L. Trifle. Okay, so trifle. I was mispronouncing it. I don't know why. said the doctor, a trifle sharply. You have told me so. Well, I tell you so again, continued the lawyer. I have been learning something of young Hyde. The large handsome face of Dr. Jekyll grew pale to the very lips, and then to the very lips, and there came a blackness about his eyes. I do not care to hear more, said he. This is a matter I thought we had agreed to drop. I'm going for a young voice. I don't know why. He's supposed to sound like he's in his 50s. But my mother is in her 50s, and she sounds rather young. Or sort of, She's halfway there. Oh. Sorry, anyways. Dr. Jekyll is also in his 50s, so I'm giving him not too. I don't know. I'm trying to experiment with the voices here. I'm giving Mr. Edison a consistent voice, and Leon, I haven't used his voice yet. But with Pool, I give him more of a Pool voice, Pooh Bear, kind of. Dr. Jekyll, I don't know what I'm supposed to go for. Because, like, Mr. Hyde is the opposite of the voice. Like, he's supposed to sound kind of, just evil. He's supposed to sound dark, mysterious. And that's so I'm trying to nail that. But with the doctor, I imagine I don't want to have him a deep voice. I don't want to have him too much a deep voice, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to give him, like, a nice... I do not care to hear. Let's try with this voice. I do not care more. This is a matter I thought we had agreed to stop. No, I don't like it. I do not care to hear more. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's go with more of that voice. I do not care. I do not care to hear more. This is the matter I thought we agreed to stop. What I heard was a bomb, said Mr. Edison. It can make no change. You do not understand my position, returned the doctor, with a certain incoherency of manner. I am painfully situated, Edison. My position is a very strange one. You could say it's a very strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Anyways, very strange one. It is one of those affairs that cannot be mended by talking. Jekyll, said Mr. Edison, you know me. I am a man to be trusted. Make a clean breast. Breast? I want to make sure this is breast. Make a clean breast of this. This is exactly how it's spelled and everything. Let me see. Yeah, breast. Face and move forward against or through something. Okay. Regret. Now make an exaggerated show of sorrow, despair, or one's to regret. Okay. To beat one's breast. Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't understand. So it's either like the breast of a chest, or not breast of a chest, the chest of a chest. No, the breast of a person, like the chest area, upper chest area, or that. Make a clean breast of this in confidence, and I make no doubt I can get you out of it. My good Utterson, said the doctor, this is very good of you. This is downright good of you. I cannot find words to thank you in. Just say thank you. I believe you fully. I would trust you before any man alive, before myself, if I could make the choice. But indeed it isn't what you fancy. It is not as bad as that. And just to put your good heart at rest, I will tell you one thing. The one thing. The moment I choose, I can be rid of Mr. Hyde. The moment I choose, I can be rid of Mr. Hyde. I give you my hand upon that. And I thank you again and again. And I will just add one more word. I can imagine Mr. Utterson is also trying to leave, but every time every time Dr. Jekyll adds a comma, it's like, but he's like pulling them closer to him. And Mr. Utterson is like, please be just done with your thank yous. I give you my hand upon that, and I thank you again and again. And I will just add one more little word, Mr. Utterson, and I'm sure that you'll take in good part. This is a private matter, and I beg of you to let it sleep. I beg of you to let it slip. Mr. Utterson reflected upon looking into the fire. I have no doubt you're perfectly right, he said at last, getting up. Well, but since we have touched upon this business, and for the last time I hoped, continued the doctor, there's one point I shall like you to understand. I have really a great interest in poor Hyde. I know you have seen him. He told me so, and I fear he was rude. But I do sincerely take a very great interest in that young man. And if I may take it away, Mr. Utterson, I wish you to promise me that you will bear with him and get his rights for him. I think you would, if you knew all. It would be a weight off my mind if you would promise. I can't pretend that I shall ever like him, said the lawyer. I don't ask that, pleaded Jekyll, laying his hand upon the other's arm. I can't pretend I shall ever like it, said the lawyer. Sorry. I don't ask that. I only ask for justice. I only ask that you help him for my sake when I am no longer here. I still don't know why I'm shifting voices, but anyways. Utterson heaved an irrepressible sigh. Well, said he, I promise. And that's the end of that chapter. Okay, bye-bye, folks. That was 30 minutes of stream. Bye. See y'all later. Let me take more sips of my cocoa. Oh well, let me pose. Let me make cool little poses. Oh, that's not one. There's a cool pose. That's it. That's all. Bye. See ya, folks. See y'all later. I don't want to meet y'all ever again. Get out of my house. Just kidding. No. No. Let's see how much more. Wow. 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 Okay, just kidding. So he was definitely at ease, but like, he seemed odd. He He seems way too talkative for my taste. For my taste. Let's see, we could squeeze in another chapter. These chapters are rather short. But I'll see if I could squeeze in another chapter or two. Or 3, sorry. This is the second chapter, so therefore I'll see if I can squeeze in another chapter. Tomorrow's Halloween, so I might be able to do a morning live stream, probably. I will definitely, if not, I'll definitely finish this during during November. There were sometimes I missed my opportunity to continue reading this, and the schedule conflicts, that's fine. And also the fact that I was celebrating my birthday, I think last week. Yeah, last week I was celebrating my birthday, and I had work and all that stuff. And I watched the FNAF movie, so I couldn't do it last week at all. No, I couldn't do it. Yeah, sort of last week. I couldn't. I watched the FNAF movie. It was good. It wasn't like the best movie. No, don't get me wrong. By any stretch, I'm not saying like it's peak cinema. I joke about it here now and then, but it's a nice, decent film. It's fine. It is what it was. It's not like it's gonna win any Oscars or anything like that, unless this year is just that low handle of. I highly doubt that this year's going to be just the FNAF movie, best movie, yay! Highly doubt it. Well, I'm going to sit like this because I can. It's my live stream, whatever. Okay, the Karu. So let's go with Karu. I don't think it's an official word. Okay. And there was a murder. Okay, so this also happens in October, or Anyways, well, what I'll definitely do is I'll definitely continue reading it Saturday, probably. Maybe tomorrow. I keep on saying maybe tomorrow, whenever it's a Monday or Tuesday stream or whatever, and I keep saying, try Sunday, and then I never do Sundays. I want to, and I try to do Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Well, maybe not Fridays because I'm busy on Fridays. But I'm just like out of steam due to like work and whatnot. But anyways, let's continue reading this chapter. Okay, so chapter, where are we? 4? Again, some of these chapters, this is rather short story. The Story of the Door, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's chapter 4. Okay. Nearly a year later. Oh, okay, so this is later. Nearly a year later, in the month of October 18th, London was startled by a crime of a singular ferocity, and rendered all the more notable by the high position of the victim. Dum, dum, dum. The details were few and startling. A maidservant living alone in a house not far from the river had gone upstairs to the bed about 11. Although a fog rolled over the city in the small hours, the early part of the night was cloudless, and the lane which the maid's window overlooked was brilliantly lit by the full moon. It seems she was romantically given, for she sat down upon her box, which stood immediately under the window, and fell into a dream of musing. Never she used to say with streaming tears when she narrated that experience. Never had she felt more at peace with all men or thought more kindly of the world. And as so she sat, became aware of an aged and beautiful gentleman with white hair drawing near along the lane. Okay. I don't know what that means. And advancing to meet him, another with a very small, another in a very small gentleman, a gentleman, who to whom at first she paid less attention. When they had come within speech, which was just under the maid's eyes, with the older man bowed and accosted. Let's find out. Words I cannot pronounce. To address him. Accosted. Accost. Very English here. Oh. So, blah, blah, blah. Where was I? Oh, yes, accost. Accosted the other with a very pretty manner of politeness. It did not seem as if the subject of his address were of great importance. Indeed, from his pointing, it sometimes appeared as if he were only inquiring his way, but the moon shone on his face as he spoke, and the girl was pleased to watch it. It seemed to breathe such an innocent and old-world kindness of disposition. Excuse me. Well, ow. Yet with something high, too, as of well-founded self-content, presented her eye wandering to the other. And she was surprised to recognize him, a certain Mr. Hyde, who had once visited her master, and for whom she had conceived a dislike. Unsubscribe, unring that bell notification, uncommented. Commented all the worst nasty comment possible, and then just disliked. Okay, I'll be right back. This is choking. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, sorry. Sorry, folks. I am no longer being choked by my belt. Oi. I need to remember that. Okay, so a dislike. He had in his hand a heavy cane, with which he was trifling, but he answered never a word, and seemed to listen with an ill-contained impatience. And then all of a sudden he broke out a great flame of anger. The flames on the side of my face. Sorry. Great flame of anger, stamping with his foot, brandishing the cane and carrying on, as the maid described it, like a madman. The old gentleman took a step back, with the air of one of the very much surprised and a trifle hurt. And at that, Mr. Hyde broke out of all bounds and clubbed him to the earth. Ah, no, no, scream. Clubbed him to the earth. And next moment, with ape-like fury, he was trampling his victim underfoot and hailing down a storm of blows, under which the bones were audibly shattered and the body jumped upon the roadway. At the horror of these sights and sounds, the maid fainted. Oh my gosh, sorry. Gosh, she'd murder this man. Like, overkill. Like, he just said, you die. It was 2:00 when she came to herself. It was 2:00 when she came to herself. So, sorry. Sorry, that was naughty of me. And called for the police. I don't know why that's funny. That's too much internet knowledge. And called for the police. I don't know why that's funny. I called for the police. The murderer was gone long ago, but there lay his victim in the middle of the lane, incredibly mangled. That's not funny. He's dead, okay? The man is dead in Minecraft. He was Minecraft, and now he's dead in the video game. Incredibly mangled. I don't know why this is funny. It's not funny, so be quiet. Incredibly mangled. The stick with which the deed had been done, although it was of some rare and very, very tough and heavy wood, had broken in the middle under the stress of this insensate cruelty. Insensate? Let's Google it. Yeah, I think it's insensate, lacking physical sensation. It's loading. I forget. It's still technically loading. Okay, so insensate, cruelty. Watch it. It's actually pronounced something else. Hello, connection. Insensate. All right. Insensate cruelty, and one splintered half had rolled into the neighboring gutter. The other, without a doubt, had been carried away by the murderer. A purse and a gold watch were found upon the victim, but no cards or papers except a sealed and stamped envelope, which he had been probably carrying to the post, and which bore the name and address of Mr. Addison. Oh no! Now they're going to think that he's the murderer. This was brought to the lawyer the next morning, before he was out of bed, and he had no sooner seen it and had been told the circumstances that he had shot out a swollen lip. Swollen. I know how to pronounce swollen, but this time I want to know what it means. Yeah, time to Google it. Formal and dignified. I shall say nothing till I have seen the body, he said. This may be serious. Have the kindness to wait while I dress. And the police are like, okay. And with the same grave countenance, oh, for Pete's sakes, go for 5 minutes without a fancy word. Old story. I know back then everyone used big words, but countenance. A person's face or facial expression. Countenance. Count. I should have thought of that. Countenance. Okay, whatever. Gave some countenance. He hurried through his breakfast and drove. You said that you were going to get dressed, not eat breakfast. Hurried through his breakfast and drove to the police station, where the body had been carried. As soon as he came into the cell, he nodded. Yes, said he. I recognize. I am sorry to say that this is Sir Danvers Carew. Sir Danvers Carew. Good. Sir Danvers Carew. Good God, sir! Oh, exclaimed the officer. Is it possible? And the next moment his eye lighted up with professional ambition. This will make a deal of noise, he said, and perhaps you can help us to the man. And he briefly narrated what the maid had seen and showed the broken stick. Mr. Edison had already quailed at the name of Hyde. But when the stick was laid before him, he could doubt it no longer. He could doubt it no longer. Broken and battered as it was, he recognized it for one that he had himself presented many years before to Henry Jekyll. The plot thickens. Okay, so let me see. You recognize it for what he had himself presented many years before to Henry Jekyll. Is this Mr. Hyde a person of small stature? He inquired. Particularly small and particularly wicked looking. Is what the maid guards him, said the officer. Mr. Edison reflected, and then, raising his head, If you will come with me in my cab, he said, I think I can take you to his house. It was by this time by this time about 9 in the morning, and the first fog of the season. A great chocolate-colored colored pall lowered over heaven. Okay, well, what's pall? Is it pale, pall? A cloth spread over a coffin or tomb, a dark cloud covering smoke, still similar matter. Oh, it's all pall. Paul. A great chocolate-colored paw lowered over heaven, but the wind was continually charging and routing these embattled vapors, so that the cab crawled from street to street. Mr. Utterson beheld a marvelous number of degrees and hues of twilight. For here it would be dark like the back end of evening, and there would be a glow of a rich lurid brown, like the light of some strange conflagration. Okay, well, here we go. Here's another word we have to pronounce. Conflagration. Conflagration? Conflagration. And here for a moment the fog would be quite broken up, and a haggard shaft of daylight would glance in between the swirling wreaths. The dismal quarter of Soho, seen under these changing glimpses, with its muddy ways and slantering passengers, and its lamps which had never been extinguished out, or had been kindled afresh to come back this morning for renovation, renovation of darkness seemed in the lawyer's eyes. Okay, there we go. Well, let's find out. I think I'm correct. Renovation? Oh, come on. The rain. Reinvasion. Okay, sorry. Sorry, folks. Reinvasion. My eyes just misread it or read it differently. Okay, reinvasion. Reinvasion of darkness seemed in the lawyer's eyes like a district of some city in a nightmare. The thoughts of his mind, besides, were of the gloomiest dye, and when he glanced at the companion and the law's officers, which may at times assail the most honest. As the cab drew up before the address indicated, the fog lifted a little and showed him a dingy street, a gin palace, a low French eating house, or shop for retail of penny numbers and 2-penny salads. Many ragged children huddled in the doorways, and many women of many different nationalities passing out, key in hand, to have a morning glass. And the next moment fog settled down again upon that part, as brown as umber, and cut him off from his blackguardly surroundings. This was the home of Henry Jekyll's favorite, of a man who was heir to a quarter of a million, sterling. An ivory-faced and silvery-haired old woman opened the door. She had an evil face. Ugh, could almost imagine it. And She had an evil face, smoothed by hypocrisy, but her manners were excellent. Damn. Okay. Rude. Her manners were excellent, but she had an evil face, smoothed by hypocrisy. Her manners were excellent, just like this channel so far. Yay, it's excellent. Everything about here is excellent. Yes, she said. This was Mr. Hyde, but he was not at home. He had been in that night very late, but he had gone away again in less than an hour. There was nothing strange in that. His habits were very irregular, and he was often absent. For instance, it was nearly 2 months since she had seen him till yesterday. Very well then. We will very well then. We wish to see his rooms, said the lawyer. And when the woman began to declare it was impossible, I had better tell you tell you who this person is, he added. This is Inspector Newcombe of Scotland Yard. Newcombe. A flash of odious joy appeared upon the woman's face. Ah! Oh! So she's kind of an evil little face. Like this, with hypocrisy. Right? So she was like, oh! Probably. That's probably what she sounds like. Oh! Said she. He's in trouble! Ah, ah. What has he done? Mr. Addison and the inspector exchanged glances. He don't seem a very popular character, observed the latter. And now, my good woman, just let me in. The officer. He don't seem a very popular character, observed the latter. And now, my good woman, just let me in. This gentleman have a look about. In the whole extent of the house, which, but for the old woman, remained otherwise empty. But I misread it. But okay. The woman's now empty. The house is full. No. Damn. And now the whole extent of the house, which but for the old woman, remained otherwise empty. Mr. Hyde, let me sit up. Mr. Hyde had only used a couple of rooms, but these were furnished with luxury and good taste. Oh, yes, good taste. Yes, cat hair. Luxury and good taste. Cat fur chairs. Oh, whatever. Mahogany chairs. Yes, I don't know. I was thinking cat fur chairs or whatever. Good taste. Mahogany. Anyways. Mahogany chairs with cat furniture, with cat covered furniture. Now, this is not saying this is made out of cat fur, but like imagine this couch or that or a chair over there was like covered cat fur. Well, like they skinned a cat and like this, or no, they skinned like a bunch of cats or a single. Anyways, moving on. Yes, good taste. Luxury and good taste. A closet was filled with wine, A wine closet. Okay. Closet was filled with wine. Plate. The plate was of silver, the napery elegant. A good picture hung upon the walls, a gift, as Utterson supposed, from Henry Jekyll, who was much of a connoisseur. I pronounced that word correctly because I've read that several times. So I'm so proud of myself. Connoisseur, yes, connoisseur. Yeah, oh, hey, connoisseur. I'm not going to Google it. Connoisseur. And the carpets were of many plies. And agreeable plies? Yeah, it's plies. Plies and agreeable in color. Yeah. At this moment, however, the rooms bore every mark of having been recently and hurriedly ransacked. Clothes lay about the floor. Oh, you don't want it, Mr. Hyde, in your house. No, you don't. Says there's one view, but I guess whoever was here just left. But it's okay. I don't care. By the way, if you're somehow still here, whoever was here, or if you're going to be here again, I'm reading The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I'm about to be through here. I don't want to be too much late into the night. I could continue. Definitely. I could definitely could. Oh, I do not want Mr. Hyde in my house. Or in my living quarters or whatever. I don't want to be someone else's Mr. Hyde. Or anyways. Hey, Mr. Hyde. Dirty name. Answered with clothes lay about the floor with their pockets inside out. What the inhumane? So, lock-fast drawers stood open, and on the hearth there lay a pile of grey ashes, as though many papers had been burnt. You monster! You don't put burnt papers on the hearth. You don't just leave ashes on the hearth. The hearth is like in the mantle, to the fireplace, I think. I'm not certain. And I'm going to Google it here in a second. Let me Google it. Hearth. I want to make sure. What was it? Hearth. Why would you do that? The floor or the fireplace? Oh yeah, I can understand. The floor of the fireplace. But it's used as a symbol of one's home. But like you still don't leave ashes near the hearth. Let me see if I'm pronouncing it right. Hearth. Okay, I was off by any hit. Okay. Hearth. You clean up your ashes, okay? Okay. Clean up your ashes. Where am I? Been burned. From these embers, the inspector disinterred the butt end of a green checkbook, which had resisted. Give me a second.
Resist.
Resist. Okay. I'm so silly. I'm not using my brain either today. Which had resisted the action of the fire. The other half of the stick was found behind the door, and as this clinched his suspicions, the officer declared himself delighted. A visit to the bank, where several £1,000s were found to be lying to the murderer's credit, completed his gratification. You may depend upon it, sir. You may depend upon it, sir, he told Mr. Addison. I have in my head. He must have lost his head, or he never would have left the stick, or above all, burned the checkbook. Why money's life? Why money's life to the man? We have nothing to do but wait for him at the bank, and get out the handbills. Get out the handbills. This last, however, was not so easy to accomplish. Not so easy. This, however, was not so easy of accomplishment, for Mr. Hyde had numbered few familiars. Even the master of the servant maid, who only seen him twice, his family could nowhere be traced. He had never been photographed, and the few who could describe him differed widely, as common observers will. Only on one point where they agreed, and that was the haunting sense of unexpressed deformity with which the fugitive impressed his beholders. Whew! I mean, I could keep going. I kind of do. But it's actually getting rather late. I could probably... stretch it for a little bit. Yeah, I'll stretch it for a bit. Just for a bit more. Let me see. Yeah, I can do it. This is going to be a special night anyways. Yeah, I could stretch it for about just a little bit more. So we're making progress, though. We are making progress. Some of these chapters have been short, and some of these chapters have been kind of lengthy. Let's see. The incident of the ladder. Yeah, let's read it. Well, we can read it. We can tackle it. We'll tackle it. Okay, we'll tackle it. But I have to read it rather... In fact, I'm losing breath here. Hold on. It was late in the afternoon when Mr. Utterson found his way to Dr. Jekyll's door, where he was at once admitted by Poole and carried down by the kitchen offices and across a yard which had been once a garden, to the building which was indifferently known as the laboratory or dissecting rooms. The doctor had bought the house from the heirs of a celebrated surgeon, and his own taste being rather chemical than anatomical, had changed the destination of the block at the bottom of the garden. It was the first time that the lawyer had been received in that part of his friend's quarters, and he had eyed the dingy windowless structure with curiosity, and gazed round with a distasteful sense of strangeness as he crossed the theatre, once crowded with eager students and now lying gaunt and silent, the tables laden with chemical apparatus, the floor strewn with crates and littered with packing straw, and the light falling dimly through the foggy cupola. At the further end, a flight of stairs mounted to a door covered with red baize. And through this, Mr. Addison was at last received into the doctor's cabinet. So I'm assuming that Mr. Addison is actually the actual main character here. Oh, hello, Kate Morning. Hello, I'm glad I'm continuing here. Okay, so what you missed so far is that, okay, I'm currently reading The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll. I'm going to say it the other way. Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll is what I was going to say. But no, his name is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I'm at the part where there was a murder by Carew. Not by Carew. Sir Danvers Carew, was murdered in front of a maid, and the suspect was Dr. Jekyll. So they went to Dr. Jekyll. The suspect was Mr. Hyde. So they went to a house that belonged to Dr. Jekyll. They didn't find Dr. Jekyll there. They found Mr. Hyde. But that's where they were told, murder. Yeah, they found that his room is just a mess. Not his room. His house is just a mess. Closed. You should rewatch the stream, and you'll find that I feel very upset about this. So yeah, he does not keep his room or his house or whatever clean. You also miss that Dr. Jekyll was quiet at ease. Literally, the chapter was called Dr. Jekyll was quiet at ease, and I'm practicing Dr. Jekyll's voice. But anyways, we're now in the chapter. We're making progress here because, I think we're reading three. Yeah, we're reading 3 chapters total. And these are short because the story itself is short, but yeah. So Dr. Jekyll was quite at ease. The Carew murder case, and now the incident of the letter. So now we're going to read about a letter incident on the letter. So an incident of the letter, and so I'm going to finish this up. Okay, go. So yeah. Where was it? Chemical apparatus, the floor strewn with crates littered with packing straw, the light falling dimly through the foggy cupola. At the further end, a flight of stairs mounted to a door covered with red baize, and through this Mr. Utterson was at last received into the doctor's cabinet. It was a large room fitted round with glass presses, furnished, among the other things, with a cheval glass and a business table, and looking out upon the court by three dusty windows barred with iron. Oh, this is neat. The fire burned in the grate. A lamp was lighted on the chimney shelf. For even in the houses of the fog began to lie thickly. And there, close up to the warmth, sat Dr. Jekyll, looking dead sick. Oh no! Dead sick. He did not rise to meet his visitor, but he held out a cold hand and bade him welcome in a changed voice. And now, Mr. Utterson, said Mr. Utterson, as soon as Poole had left them, you have heard the news. The doctor shuddered. They were crying it in the square, he said. I heard them in my dining room. One word, said the lawyer. Carew was my client, but so are you, and I want you to know what I am doing. You have not been mad enough to hide this fellow. Utterson, I swear to God, cried the doctor. I swear to God, I will never set my eyes on him again. Oh, by the way, in the previous chapter, Dr. Jekyll made his friend, Mr. Utterson, promise to be the lawyer for that to be the lawyer of Mr. Hyde, to make sure that the will that his will go to him directly. But then now, the police and the lawyer has found evidence that Mr. Hyde was the killer of Sir Danvers Carew. Carew. Yeah, Carew. Let's go with Carew. I swear to God, cried the doctor. I swear to God, I will never set my eyes on him again. I bind my honor to you that I am done with him in this world. It is all it is all at an end. And indeed, he does not want my help. You do not know him as I do. He is safe. He is quite safe. Mark my words, he will never more be heard of. The lawyer listened gloomily. He did not like his friend's feverish manner. You seem pretty sure of him, he said, and for your sake I hope you may be right. If it came to a trial, your name might appear. I am quite sure of him, replied Jekyll. I have grounds for certainty that I cannot share with anyone, but there is one thing on which you may advise me. I have received a letter, and I am at a loss whether I should show it to the police. I should like to leave it in your hands. Utterson, you would judge wisely, I am sure. I have so great a trust in you. You fear, I suppose, that I might lead to his detection? Asked the lawyer. No, said the other. I cannot say that I care what becomes of Hyde, I am quite done with him. Even though previously he said, please, please promise me that my will go to him. And now he's like, no, I don't want him. Get rid of him. I'm quite done with him. He's put the ashes on the hearth and left it there. Oh, okay, morning. Yeah, this man, by the way, if you I know I told you to rewatch the stream, but like this man has left his clothes on the floor. That when the policeman enter Mr. Hyde's house, I guess, I think the man has left clothes on the floor, a broken cane, and ashes on the hearth. Hearth. And by the way, the scripted on the clothes too. The pockets were turned inside out. Despicable, just disgusting behavior. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still it's still rather unkept that he rather unclean of him to just leave his clothes on the floor. But like, I'm joking at the fact that the pockets were left on. Like turned inside out or whatever. That's like despicable. Like crosses the line. Forget the murder. Forget the murder. So where was it? Oh yeah. I cannot say that I care what becomes of Hyde. I'm quite done with him. I was thinking of my own character. Which of this character of the story? Sorry, no, I know. The term character can apply to real life. Anyways, I was thinking of my own character, which this hateful business has rather exposed. Utterson ruminated? Wait, Mr. Hyde, I am never done with you. Oh, Mr. Hyde, I'm never done with you. Throughout this broadcast, I have been Googling words that I've never seen or that I never read before, pronounced. Where is that word? Oh, is rumination. I'll just ruminated. No, stop it. Oh, I hate the finicky of my phone. Ruminated. Think deeply about something. Ruminated. Okay, ruminated. Okay. Mr. Hyde, I am never done with you. Well, Mr. Hyde is the good. No, Mr. Hyde's the bad guy. Dr. Jekyll's the good guy. Mr. Hyde's the bad guy. Okay, there we go. Ruminated. Okay, so that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Ruminated. Where I just read it. Utterson ruminated a while. He was surprised at his friend's selfishness, and yet relieved by it. Well, he said, at last, let me see the letter. The letter was written in an old, upright hand and signed Edward Hyde, and it signified, briefly enough, that the writer's benefactor, Dr. Jekyll, whom he had long so unworthily repaid for 1,000 generosities. Just 1,000. 1,000. Not a million, not 2,000, just exactly 1,000. 1,000 generosities. No more, no less. Just exactly 1,000 generosities. needed labor under no alarm for safety, as he had means of escape on which he placed assured dependence. The lawyer liked this letter well enough. Oh yes, this letter, 1,000 souls a day. Generosity is souls. How very generous of you. And this letter in particular is very likable. Anyways, the lawyer liked this letter well enough. By the way, Kate Morning, this is the most honest lawyer I've ever read about. He hasn't told a lie yet. So the honest lawyer, a lawyer. I mean, but back then, practically everyone in the neighbor's dog were old gentlemen and gentle ladies. So like, yeah. Where am I? The lawyer liked this letter well enough. It put a better color on the intimacy that he had looked for, and he blamed himself for some of his past suspicions. Excuse me. Oh, past suspicions. Have you the envelope? Oh, sorry. Have you the envelope? He asked. I burned it, replied Jekyll, before I thought what I was about. But it bore no postmark. The note was handed in. Shall I keep this and sleep upon it? He just takes the letter, just puts the letter on top of his pillow, and just sleeps right on top of it. Just like that. Just sleeps on top of the letter. Has any of y'all done that? Any of y'all done that? Just take a letter, just sleep upon a letter or something. Doesn't have to be any special letter, like a girlfriend or boyfriend's letter. It could be like a check in the mail or any kind of like tax letter or something. I don't know. Your taxes. Or a pink letter. Like you're just sad and you're crying in your sleep because you're fired. Pink slip. Where it's called. Where am I? Shall I sleep? Shall I sleep? Shall I keep this and sleep upon it? Asked Anderson. I wish you to judge for me entirely, was the reply. I have lost confidence in myself. Well, I shall consider, returned the lawyer. And now one word more. It was Hyde who dictated the terms in your will about that disappearance. The doctor seemed seized with a qualm of faintness. He shut his mouth tight and nodded. I knew, said Mr. Ellison. He meant to murder you. Dum dum dum. You had a fine escape. I've had what is far more to the purpose, returned the doctor solemnly. So I have had a lesson. Oh God, Utterson, what a lesson I have had. And he had covered his face for a moment with his hands. On his way out, the lawyer stopped and had a word or two with Poole. By the by, he said. There was a letter handed in today. What was the messenger like? But Poole was positive nothing had come except by post. And only circles. And only circulars. And only circulars by that, he added. Oh, no. No, it's still the lawyer. And only circulars by that, he added. The news set off the visitor with his fears renewed. Plainly, the letter had come by the laboratory door. Possibly, indeed, it had been written in the cabinet, and if that were so, it must be differently judged and handled with the more caution. The newsboys? Sorry. Warhammer reference, judge me worthy. The newsboys, as he went, were crying themselves hoarse along the footways. Special edition! Shocking murder of an MP! An MP? That was the funeral oration of one friend and client, and he could not help a certain apprehension lest the good name of another should be sucked down in the eddy of the scandal. It was, at least, a ticklish decision that he had to make, and self-reliant as he was by habit, he began to cherish a longing for advice. It was not to be had directly, but perhaps he thought it might be fished for. Presently after, he sat on one side of his own hearth with Mr. Guest. Okay, that's an old last name to have, Mr. Guest. Let me look at the time. Okay, we still get that. With Mr. Guest. His head clerk upon the other, and midway between, a nicely calculated distance from the fire, a bottle of a particular old wine that had long dwelt unsunned in the foundations of his house. The fog still slept on the wing above the drowned city, where the lamps glimmered like carbuncles. Carbuncles. Let's Google it. Carbuncles. Actually, that's actually how it's spelled. I probably pronounced it correctly then. Mr. Gas. Carbuncle. Okay, I was close. Carbuncle. Glimmered like carbuncles, and through the muffle and smother of these falling clouds, the precision of the town's life was still rolling in through the great arteries with a sound as of a mighty wind. But the room was gay with firelight. Gaudy, gaily, and now just straight up gay. We've come across some of those old terms, or the old meanings of those terms. Yay! Just imagine gay fire. Gay firelight. Gay with firelight. The room was gay with firelight. So, yeah. Anyway. Room with gay with firelight. In the bottle, the acids were long ago resolved. The imperial dye had softened with time. as the color grows richer in stained windows. Right, stained windows where I just lost it. Oh, in the glow of hot autumn afternoons on hillside vineyards or vineyards? Vineyards. Let's go with vineyards. Hillside vineyards was ready to be set free and to disperse the fogs of London. Insensibly, the lawyer melted. There was no man from whom he kept fewer secrets than Mr. Guest, and he was not always sure that he kept as many as he meant. Guest had often been on business to the doctors. He knew Poole. He could scarce have failed to hear Mr. Hyde's familiarity about the house. He might draw conclusions. Was it not as well, then, that he should see a letter which put that mystery to rights? And above all, since Guest, being a great student and critic of handwriting, would consider the step natural and obliging. The clerk, the clerk, besides, was a man of counsel. He could scarce read so strange a document without dropping a remark, and by that remark Mr. Utterson might shape his future course. This is a sad business about Mr. Danvers, he said. Yes, indeed. I'm going to give him this, Mr. Guest, this voice. Okay. Yes, indeed. It has elicited a great deal of public feeling, returned Guest. The man, of course, was mad. I should like to hear your views on that, replied Utterson. I have a document here in his handwriting. It is between ourselves, for I scarce know what to do about it. It is an ugly business at the best. But there it is, quite in your way, a murderer's autograph. The murderer's autograph. Guest's eyes brightened. And he sat down at once and studied it with passion. No, sir, he said, not mad, but it is an odd hand. Just an odd hand. Anyway, but it's an old hand, and by all accounts, a very odd writer, added the lawyer. Just then, the servant entered with a note. Is that from Dr. Jekyll, sir? Inquired the clerk. I thought I knew the writing. Anything private, Mr. Utterson? Only an invitation to dinner. Why? Do you want to see it? One moment, I thank you, sir, said the clerk. One moment, I thank you, sir, said the clerk, laid the 2 sheets of the paper alongside, and sedulously? I'm going to assume that it's sedulously compared to the contents. Thank you, sir, he said at last, returning both. It's very interesting autograph. There was a pause, during which Mr. Utterson struggled with himself. Why did you compare them, Guest? He inquired suddenly. Well, sir, returned the clerk. There's a stranger's. Well, sir, returned the clerk. There's a rather singular resemblance. The 2 hands are in many points identical, only differently sloped. Rather quiet, said Mr. Utterson. It is, as you say, rather quaint, returned the Guest. I wouldn't speak of this note, you know, said the master. "No, sir," said the clerk. "I understand." But no sooner was Mr. Anderson alone that night than he locked the note into his safe, where it reposed from that time forward. "What?" he thought. "Henry Jekyll forged, not forged, sorry. Henry Jekyll forged for a murderer," and his blood ran cold in his veins. And for the next chapter, remarkable incident of Dr. Leon, the guy from the very beginning of the story. But unfortunately, I've got to go. I've taken up much time here. Oh, for this live stream. Again, I definitely recommend you rewatch this live stream. I definitely recommend you share, like, and subscribe to this channel. Good read, very good read. Yes, keep on, very good read. A very good read indeed. I actually can't wait to get back to. Well, I mean, I'm not in a hurry to finish this book, but again, I will finish this book. If not tomorrow, depends. I know tomorrow is Halloween night. I might finish it sometime tomorrow, maybe during the morning. Not certain. Do you do requests? Do I do requests? Not yet. Well, maybe. Actually, you know what? Request. Request. Um, I do have a planned schedule. What I'm planning to do is finish Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then I will read To Be Beautiful, and then I will continue reading what's the other book? The Artificer, Chapter 2. I will read Chapter 2 of The Artificer. Yeah, I'll read Chapter 2 of The Artificer. Yeah, I think that would. And then after The Artificer, I'll probably go back to FNAF, and then I'll probably do another I'll probably do another story of Robert Louis Stevenson. But what I can do is I'll take note. You can actually you can tell me right now what story you want to recommend me reading, but I'll definitely take note of it, and I'll try to plan for future reading of it. But so yeah, you can recommend right to me right now. Actually, I do have a list of a bunch of stories, but I could definitely I could definitely read it. So Warm by Wilbur John McCain. Warm. Is that a horror book? Oh, I get nightmares. Giant ball war. I'll Google it real quick. I have time to Google it. It's getting rather late, but I have time to Google a story. Let's see. Deconstruction, Reconstruction superhero novel. So it takes a superhero novel, deconstructs it, and then reconstructs it. So we're back to superhero novel. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, warm definition. by Wilbo McCrae, not McCain, McCrae. Unless you're specific, unless there's two people that wrote a warm book, but and they just so happen to be John McCain, John C. McCrae, John C. McCain. Let's see. Will John. Is it McCrae or is it McCain? I want to be 100% certain. Cape Morning? It's McCrae. It's McCrae. The search has no McCrae. There's no McCrae. There's no McCain. Sorry, it's Wildbow Mc. It's Wildbow McCrae, not. Okay. So, anyways, it's a web serial. Oh, it's an online story apparently. What the heck? Huh. McCrae's first novel, Warm, features a bullied teenage girl, Taylor Herbert, who develops the superpower to control worms. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Insects, that also sounds disgusting. Arachnids, that sounds less disgusting, but still scary. And other simple life forms. Using the combination of ingenuity, idealism, and brutality. Mortal Kombat. She struggles to do the right thing in a dark world filled with moral ambiguity. Does that sound about right? Kate Morning? Bug person? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Warm. Huh. I just might read it. No promises. If it starts to gross me out, would you be offended if I stop reading it? Looking for you to read it in the future. I'll add it to the list. It's on the list, but I want to know if I stop reading it because I just get grossed out by certain details or whatever. Would you be offended or something like that? Not really. Okay. So don't worry. I'll try giving it a read. The worm. That does sound interesting, though. The fact that she can spawn insects or control insects and arachnids. I think I will lean more towards liking the idea of her controlling spiders than say any other insect. Now, especially worms, I do I do like the concept. It just sounds disgusting, but I'll try to give it a read. And if I get grossed out, I'll stop reading it. Um, but I'll definitely give it a try. So yeah. Um, these. Anyways, so that's all I have tonight. It's getting rather late. So what I'll do again. So here's the schedule. I'll finish reading this. Or I'll finish reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Then I'll read To Be Beautiful. Then I'll read The Artificer. And then I'll find myself a copy of Warm. And then probably sell it. No, I'll find a way to I'll find a way to read it. Yeah. I'll get my hands on it. But yeah, that seems to be it for tonight. Now remember, unless something comes up, then I'll have to postpone it. But regardless, yeah, I'll definitely try to read it. So yeah, remember to like, subscribe, dislike, unsubscribe. Yeah, like this video and subscribe if you want to watch more. Dislike this video and unsubscribe and block me if you don't want to see more. That's funny. Definitely do what you want to do. Share. Definitely, please share. I'm trying to reach. Let's see how many subscribers. I'm trying to reach a certain goal. Let's see. With the random fandom, I'm trying to reach the 60. Let's go with 60. I'm trying to reach 60 subscribers. Let's start at 60. With RavenWood, I'm trying to get to with my RavenWood channel, I'm trying to get to 25, but 30. 25 to 30 subscribers, but that channel is more for me target practicing as well. So see what also sticks. But yeah, soon this video will publish. This video will be published before this month ends, or roughly before sometime tomorrow. This video will publish. Eventually, we'll get back to this. I know I keep on saying that we'll get back to this. We'll get back to this. We'll get back to this. But we will. We will. I promise. He promises to. Dominic, you will see Dominic soon, probably, hopefully, most likely. See you all soon. Let me turn this off. In the whenever, next ever, whoever video. Goodbye and good night, and see. Maybe I might do Halloween or whatever. Like a little Halloween stream. This is a preview of the Halloween stream. But anyways, bye bye.